Hi, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your March 2021 money and career reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me. I will not be soliciting you for anything. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself become calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Now let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Taurus, March 2021, money and career. Taurus. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Ooh, goodness. Okay, there we go. Your first card just flew right out. I love that. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And let's look at your chakra energy for this time. Taurus, March 2021, money and career. Taurus, March 2021, money and career. Taurus, March 2021, money and career. Taurus. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Fantastic, these three. So we have here determination. This is the solar plexus chakra. Then we have forgiveness, the heart chakra. And finally, we have psychic development, the third eye chakra. And let's see how all this correlates to the tarot. We have the Six of Cups and the Tower. How interesting. The Page of Pentacles, so it's you as a student. You're represented by the Pentacles in the Minor Arcana, by the Hierophant in the Major Arcana. Seven of Pentacles, patience. Interesting. You have the Well, Now, this deck has 2 extra major arcana cards in it, the Artist and the Well. So here you have the Well of inspiration, the Well of knowledge, and the 5 of Cups, which makes complete sense with what we're seeing here. The crowning is really quite beautiful. So let's look at your roots. You have the 10 of Wands and the Emperor. Well, if there is such a change of fortune here that it's exquisite, okay? It is exquisite. So what we're looking at, okay, let's start off with your chakra energy right away, okay? There's a determination, right? The solar plexus chakra comes forward. A determination that we can see through the tower, through the change that is coming, through, everything that you've been through, the 10 of Wands, even the patience that you have to, embrace and kind of embark upon. The being a student, what do I desire? Where do I want to be? How is it that I'm moving forward? The questioning, the seeking, the being a student in a very kind of classical sense of the word, the discovering, not the I know everything type of thing, but I want to figure it out and I have to learn. And so here there's a determination that you're swimming even against the current of maybe what everybody else is thinking or what we assume everybody else is thinking. We're swimming here against the chaos of emotions, the doubts, the fears, the angers, and the negativity to say, but this is what my gut knows is good. This is how I know I'm supposed to move forward. This is quite intrinsically my truth. And that leads us during this time to really listening to what our gut has to say, to what our soul has to say, which is something that we don't do. We don't spend time to listen to our bodies, to listen to ourselves. We spend time worrying what people think about us. We spend time, doing everything else. But when it comes to really being cognizant of our beings, our souls, our bodies, our breath, we're not. And so here there is a power, and there's a sense of, I'm not settling. I'm not settling. I'm not swimming with the herd. I am going against convention. I'm going against what other people think, or what I assume other people think, and I am embracing my truth. So there's such a power here, and it brings you to forgiveness. Now, this is important because we have nostalgia because everything has fallen apart. And even if, everything is kind of okay, with the state of the world, it still feels like everything fell apart in a very real way. And so here, the forgiveness is because I couldn't change it, right? So when we look at forgiveness and we're told, oh, forgive other people, yeah, that's great. It makes us feel like a good person, a bigger person. I was able to forgive them. They don't have that power over me. Most of the time, the person that we are forgiving doesn't care. And that's harsh to say, but it's usually true. They don't care that we're forgiving them for a huge trauma that they caused us or a huge drama that they caused us. They see what they did as what needed to be done, or, kind of grow a thicker skin, that type of thing. And so here with the forgiveness, it's not the forgiveness of the them, it's forgiveness of the us. It's forgiving for not making better financial decisions, for things being lost, for hard times coming, for, being backed into a corner. And it's hindsight being 2020, saying, I cannot live in this guilt anymore of what shoulda, coulda, or would have been. Excuse me. And there's a sense here of saying, I'm done. I'm walking out of the shadows. I'm walking out of the darkness. And I get to face the light. I get to hold my head up to the light in exquisite truth. And it's embracing our hearts, which we don't really think is important when embracing money, because you'll see sometimes the nastiest people have the biggest bank accounts, right? Well, that's great. We can, if we wanted to, we can shift all our time, energy to making as much money as we can. And success will come with that. If your main objective every waking hour is to accrue loads and loads of money, go at it. But if your aim in life is to have a balanced life, is to be a person who has people around them that, love them and say, wow, I remember spending time with you and all this stuff and having these memories, that's a different story. And so here, when we're looking at the opening up of the third eye, the psychic development, it's seeing that. it's seeing that. It's like you could be a workhorse your whole entire life, right? Or you can step back and say, I work hard, honorably, truthfully. But I also get to follow the path that my soul knows is important. And you might say it's a luxury to think, oh, well, I could be super successful if I wanted to be. But there are always ways, sneaky ways, proper ways. There are always ways, sneaky, proper ways, to make a whole bunch of money. But here, it's going against the current almost. It's saying there needs to be more to that, more to life. And you're looking at that more, and you're becoming a student of your prosperity. And be patient, because divinity holds a bounty for you. And it might not be, the McMansion or the mansion and the fancy cars, but it can be something truly exquisite that makes you completely happy, but isn't what everybody else expects. So we start off with the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is nostalgia. This can also be curses that were kind of spoken over you when you were very small, or even when you were developing, like moving forward, embracing your career, embracing your jobs, embracing the place that you want to be. And people planted seeds of doubt. And they take root, especially when they're spoken over children, when we make ourselves vulnerable and we have setbacks. These seeds get planted, and they can just overgrow everything. And so with the Six of Cups, there is a sense of looking at the past and saying, I see you. I honor you because you have helped me build wisdom, but I cannot live in you. Because to live in the past is to live in pain. No matter how beautiful the past was, it can never be replicated within our lives. It just can't be. There will always be something missing. There will always be the ghost of a memory around what we are recreating. And so here, we have the nostalgia come. Why? Because of what we've been through. Because of the tower, because of the falling out of our comfort zones, because of our world being shaken, because of everything falling apart. The tower always makes me think of Humpty Dumpty. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Force and power could not build and could not repair what love and patience needed to come and tend. Being pushed out of our comfort zones, though when we go through it, is horrible because we're walking down a road that we think, no, no, and no. But as we endure, as we build, as we see, it's like, oh. And those oh moments, they don't come right away. They come years down the line, which is annoying. Sometimes they do come relatively quickly. But the tower is having the foundation shaken, is having what we've built fall apart in one way or another. And there's going to be a nostalgia. It's kind of like, if I only. And you have to be very careful during this time not to fall into that pattern, not to fall into that kind of mind speech. If I only. I can't believe I didn't. How foolish was I? No, things were taken out of your control. They were, quite spiritually speaking, taken out of your hands. And seeds were planted that never would have been planted if the earth hadn't shaken, if things hadn't changed, if divinity hadn't pushed you in that direction. And it brings us to the Page of Pentacles. It brings us to being the student, to looking at the prosperity, to looking at the bounty and saying, how do I plant this? What do I do with this? How do I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? It's being a true student. Not one of those students that sits there and goes, I know everything. That's not a student. It's like a waste of time. It's the person who says, I don't know, and I need to figure it out. And so here, it is embracing that needing to figure it out. Looking at prosperity, looking at bounty. We're focusing here, and this time really does focus on your money, on your career, on the way that you want to move forward. These are paramount in your mind, and you're saying, well, this is a money and career reading. Of course, Dane, that is what I'd be focusing on. No, a lot of times Spirit says, okay, well, look emotionally at what's holding you back. Look, and we do have that here, but we're crowned and we're rooted in success. So emotionally, the world has been shaken up. And every single person can see that. Here, it's looking at the seeds that we are planting within ourselves and saying, how do I grow this? How do I embrace this? Where does this let me be and have me become? And it brings us, right, as we seek, as we look, as we, it's kind of like looking at the different seeds and say, what plants best next to each other? Is that how I want to do it? Or do I want to let things grow naturally, see what becomes, embrace my talents, embrace my questions, everything like that. And we're looking at things quite differently than we had before. And it brings us to the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is divinity saying, step back and have patience. You cannot change this. And you'd muck it up even if you could. Step back and have patience. Step back and see what I grow for you, how I grow it. Mind the garden, because if we don't mind the garden, it gets overrun with weeds. Mind the garden, put the time in, tend things, care for things. But I will let you know when it is ripe. I will let you know when to move forward and the power that comes from that movement forward. And so here, there's this beautiful sense of seeking and finding. There's this beautiful sense of building something that doesn't just last a moment, but has a firm, solid, steady foundation. And it brings us to the well of knowledge, the well of inspiration, the well of truth, the quenching of the thirst, the seeing greater, more deeply into things. And then it brings us to the Five of Cups, change the mind and change the life. So with the Five of Cups, we have the cups that are spilt here, and we could cry over this for the rest of our lives and be justified. The hurts, the pains, the disappointments, the sorrows, the hardships, the despair, we can cry over that and say it wasn't fair, because it wasn't. But if we turn behind and we see the two cups standing, that's the Minor Arcana Lover's card. That's love and passion and brilliance. That's what we're drinking deeply from the well of. The well of a new way of looking at things. A well of learning and comprehending and questioning and developing and becoming. And it's like, oh, well, that's the answer. And at times we're going to find answers and still not really be sure of questions, which is going to be interesting to kind of muddle through. But it's going to lead us in a way that says, first things first. Like step one. Step one is the clearing of a space. It's the organizing of the self. It's the scheduling of the self. Which, if you're like me, you hate that. Like, you can rebel against that so hard. But it's the sitting within the space of our consciousness and saying, it makes sense. And then having this inspiration come forward. And almost by our bootstraps, saying, I'm not going to be defined by the hurts and the pains and the chaos and the overwhelming everything anymore. And it moves us then to the Ten of Wands. And the Ten of Wands is carrying everything. And Taurus, you are so good at that. We're so good at saying, I got it. I'm putting it on my back. Got this. I got this. And because your breaking point is so further out than other people's, they let you. What we're doing here is we're looking at everything that we're holding on to. Every dream that we carry, every wish that we have, every life lesson that we take from another person and say, oh, that's hard for you? Don't worry, I got it. Here's the thing, they have to learn. And it sounds harsh to say, it's not letting them struggle and letting them fail. It's saying, that is your lesson. That is part of your truth. Understand it. Hold it. Because when we hold so much, we're bent forward. The part of the world, when we stand in success, is to stand like the emperor, shoulders back, head held high, tall and firm within what you want. This is taking our dreams, our passion, that we've carried with us so long, and saying, it's time. It's time to light the bonfire of what I desire. It's time to push me forward. It's time to embrace what my soul calls for. And it brings us to ruling our lives. It brings us to this sense of determination and dedication and understanding. It opens up doors. We become rulers. The Emperor, also Aries energy, right, is the god of war. It's like, I will stand in battle for my prosperity, for my bounty, and for where I need to be. I'm not going to be the pack mule anymore. I get to rule my life. I get to call my prosperity and my passion, and I get to walk into my success. Your subconscious chakra message is peace. This is the crown chakra. This is embracing peace, harmony, understanding, crowning yourself with the joys that are desired, with the steadfastness that gets to be seen, with the peace that brings success. Because it's that knowing that says the dream can become the reality. The wish can become the power to live by. And even though the road has been unbelievably hard, you have learned more than most people ever dare to hope to understand, which might not seem like a blessing, but it is. Crown yourself with that peace, with that knowledge. It leads us then to the subconscious tarot message, which is the Knight of Wands. Okay? Charging forward, defending our passion, our determination. It's like, this is what I want. This is my career. This is what I desire. This is how I support my life. And it gets to shine. Now, it can also be the hobby on the side, right? We have the job, it pays the bills, we do our thing. But then on the side, we have what makes our heart sings. This is what we fight for. This is the truth and the beauty and the passion and the courageousness that gets to move us forward. Here, with the Knight of Wands being at your center, it's like, this is my truth. And this is where I get to excel and embrace my soul, my existence, and myself. This is fighting for our passion and embracing that passion so fully. It becomes not all-consuming in a negative way, but life-affirming. All right, Taurus, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as divine timing guides us, as we become students of profound and everlasting prosperity, as success is held dear within our hearts, our souls, and ourselves, and we claim it fiercely, joyously, and profoundly. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus.